arts have something maybe much more for everyone. A chance to be, a chance to become. And in my way of thinking, and I think every educator really believes this, that's what education's all about. To make you and to make me and all those kids out there all that they can be.
DASH. What is DASH?
DASH is the Design and Architecture Senior High School.
A very unique and wonderful school in Miami, Florida.
DASH is a magnet school.
That program was actually conceived and designed by the arts director of Dade County Public Schools, Jacqueline Hinchy. And Jacqueline and I later married, so that was my involvement with design and architecture. But that was a program designed by Jacqueline Hinchy.
A school like no other. Students who are interested in becoming designers in the areas of architecture, fashion, landscaping, and computer-aided design, and many, many other things.
The motivation and the desire to create DASH sprung from Jackie Hinchy.
I will describe DASH as a school of the future.
Jackie Hinchy Sipes was extremely intelligent across a number of areas, but particularly in the arts. And she was personally attractive and driven to do and make the most of her art work. She understood that art is an operational experience, that in order for those who are going to be the best at it, they have to go through that cauldron of experience.
Jackie Hinchy Sipes was a visionary, someone that had, I would call it, long vision. She saw things in the future. She saw things for kids that were very talented. And she realized that there was a place in Miami-Dade and maybe in the world for these kids.
Jackie Hinchy was my mother. She was art director for a while and then became principal of DASH. Anything with art was very, very important to her.
I think Jackie's intentions were to capture all the children who had that passion for arts or just needed to find a place in the art world. And so she founded DASH in order to give the kids an opportunity to come and show off or showcase their talents.
She wasn't looking for scholars. She was looking for students who loved art. No matter what academic averages those students had, if they were interested, she knew that she could turn things around and make their world a wonderful place.
She wanted to make sure that her students were recruited countywide. She wanted to make sure that she had a diverse population of students, not necessarily culturally diverse, but diverse in their skills as it related to architecture, fashion, landscape, and interior design.
I think Jackie truly loved the whole process of building DASH. It was a constant challenge. It was a creative endeavor. She never took no for an answer. She would often come in with a new idea and ask us what we thought and could we make it work. One of the things that Jackie started out with was an interdisciplinary approach. One of the days during the first few years of DASH was called Z-Day. It gave us an opportunity to take on subjects and topics and projects and field trips that were unique and that were different. We planned some of the craziest things, and most of them were creative, where the students had to take certain pieces of information and interpret them in their own way. So Z-Day was a day that was always a surprise.
Dash meant everything to her, and from start to finish until she left, it was basically the pinnacle of her life.
One of the first challenges was to get the school board approval to build this school from scratch, to put it in the Miami Design District, to incorporate the design career into the program, because these were all new adventures for the school and for the school system.
Jackie encountered some challenges in the process of coming up with the idea of having Dash. And the challenges were, the school board wanted Dash to be a vocational school, but that was not Jackie's intention. She wanted it to be a design school, and therefore she ended up getting what she desired.
She had to find the money and then find the location and then make it happen.
We didn't have a library. We didn't have a cafeteria. So just the transformation from the start of Dash to where it became was just amazing.
I really believe that Dash had a lot to do with the design area. I think that back then, people found out that the school, was based mostly on architecture and design and drawing, painting, and fashion. So businesses started coming in, and they would come to the area and they would pay a visit to Dash to see what the kids were actually doing at Dash. Some of them were businessmen ready to get involved with the building, with the school, with the area, and they started investing money in it because they saw that there was a relation between design and architecture senior high and the area where they could develop their businesses, incorporating Dash into it.
One of the major challenges was to entice the architects and the designers to become part of the instructional program. Because each one of those folks who were skilled had their own agendas and their own jobs. And so they would have to make time to participate in the instruction of students. And that was a challenge.
I think that Jackie Hinchy was the type of person that gave you a lot of time, chances, things to do, how to do it, and then she would have these meetings to find out exactly how things were being done at the school.
We also had many challenges in getting students from the entire county, recruiting, busing them in, doing all the things that were required to start a school from flat scratch.
One of the things that we relied on was critical thinking and really doing analytical thinking at the same time to see which direction would really benefit the students, which would really benefit the mission and vision of the school, and we were able to solve those problems.
I believe Dash was a special place because of the people that were there, and because Jackie allowed it to flux and change and be a very unique place. The students were unique. They were each chosen for different reasons and for their differences, and they got along so well, and they respected each other's differences so well. And the same thing happened with the faculty. And the parents, the same thing with the parents. It seemed that everybody really had a buy-in to the situation and tried very hard to make sure that each day was actually more magical than the day before, and they often were.
The students were just awesome, 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 awesome at Dash.
They were able to start at a very basic level with good, strong skills academically as well as design, and move them forward.
They had to leave their neighborhoods and they come to a different neighborhood, meeting new people. Just a challenge, and having all sorts of professionals coming in to show their wisdom to these students.
Everyone knew all the kids personally, and that's what made it so special. It was more like a family.
We had to be not mundane, we had to be out there, we had to climb the ladder, we had to make a difference.
I think the faculty got along beautifully. They made friendships, and we often went out after school and decided that we would have a happy hour and enjoy each other's company.
Everyone would participate in going to each other's house to go over the events of the week that happened, you know, or if there's something that we can fix or enhance, that's what we normally would have done.
So it wasn't just a job for us, it was a joint endeavor, and we enjoyed being together socially as well as professionally. Many of them were absolutely hysterical people with very unique personalities and very strong personalities, and it made it fun to be among a faculty that had that much interaction.
As far as I can remember, all the teachers and faculty loved her. They thought highly of her because she was fair.
My fondest memory at Dash involved all of the students. And when they were able to display their final product, the accolades that they received were just great. Their response to the comments and the crowd in the audience just sort of verified to them that they were doing a great job. And that, as an educator, gives me the greatest satisfaction.
I think there was a special day that would be one of my fondest memories, where a student who was very different than all the others and had a small ship that he would carry with him every day and work on it. And we used to say that Dash had architecture and fashion and design, but we also had one student who was in nautical design, and he would carry his boat around and work on it. No matter what we were all doing, he was listening and participating, but he was also working on his boat. And the day that the school, it rained so hard that the patio filled with water, and we were all getting on, and the students were getting on the buses, and we turned around, and there he was, putting his boat in the large puddle of the parking lot. And as he set it down, high school students turned around, and I was afraid they were going to laugh, and they did not. They applauded. And they were so excited to see him sail his ship. And we looked at each other and smiled, and I said, wouldn't it be great if he had made sails for his boat? And out of his pocket, he pulled the sails and added them to the boat, and they applauded again. So it was just an example to me of how accepting the students were of each other.
I spent 40 years in education. Was it worth it? It was to me, and I hope it was to the students.
"25 years from now, I hope Dash is still being Dash, doing the things for students that they know will be successful, that they know their work is worthwhile, the mission is alive and well. And of course, as the years go by, there may be some additional modifications to the program to meet the needs of the current environment. But as a whole, Dash will continue being Dash."
I would always hope that Dash would remain a school that has open doors for the unique individual, and that it would really strive to help them be a success in all fields, not just the design fields, but academic as well.
The biggest legacy of the Dash Alumni Association is to give back.
It would be great if Dash and the students who went there could always build a camaraderie and a closeness that would give them a solid footing and make them appreciate not only their own interests and their own differences, but others as well.
To keep it alive and to attract all the talented kids in the community and outside of the community, and so give them an opportunity to get a taste of Dash.
The impact it's made in people's lives is, like I said before, it allows them to go into society and apply their arts, either through architectural, design, photography. It's all based off the arts.
Remember how you were given opportunities and just to give back to Design and Architecture Senior High School, whether it's your talents or monetary ways of showing how much you appreciate and love what you were given at Design and Architecture Senior High School.
I believe the biggest legacy for the Dash alumni is simply to keep the school alive, to continue to remind the community, local community, the state, nationally, as well as internationally, what a gem was started in Miami by Jackie Hinchy Sykes, which will live on forever.
Students who had the will to do whatever necessary to make their dreams come true.
The number of students who can fondly recall an aha moment when they said to themselves, I understand this. I now know where I'm going. I know what I believe in. That would be the moment.
First live on Dash Flamingos. Here they go. They look sad. They're sad. Yeah, man. 500 years ago, they were young. All right, that's it. Hey, Nick. How you doing, man? Come and have an interview. Nick, come and have an interview. Tell the people how cool you are. All right, that's it. That's it. Hey, Nick. How you doing, man? Come and have an interview. Someone have an interview.